Okay. Got it. I am live. All right, sweet. And now, Aiden, will I see this on my Instagram? Okay, got it. And so we're on YouTube, you said? Got it. All right. All right, we are live in living color. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. And let me know if anybody is here. But what I'm going to start talking about today, what I'm going to go through, we've had a lot of questions. We've had a lot of interest. We've had a lot of people wondering exactly what we're doing with this Rehab Chiro executive program. And so, what I wanted to do today was go live in living color, speaking more about the opportunity, who it's for, who it's not for, and specifically try to educate everyone here about why we're doing it, what I'm seeing in the industry right now, and why I think it's going to be relevant for people who are in my world. So, um, as I get started, I want to give people a little bit of background. The problem our profession faces as chiropractors is it's profound. It's profound. The issue that many of us face is that really we get out of school and that we're very much thrown to the wolves. And the nice thing for me, selfishly, is that our program, Rehab Chiro Coach, has been able to help a lot of business owners and help a lot of people that went to school, was sold their dream, got out of school, and either took a terrible job and was an associate or had the balls basically to go and open their own practice. Um, and in our coaching program, we've been able to help these people very much build a business that now created a job for themselves. But the problem is it is the most unnatural thing to do on earth. Think about it for a second. In what world, in what industry do people go to school, graduate school, and then immediately not only learn how to become the doctor to treat patients, then also do all of the other things and stuff that is involved in running a business? And so there's no other profession. When you're a medical doctor, you go to residency. When you're a dentist, you do residency and internships. When you're in the trades, you do apprenticeships. But in chiropractic, you graduate school, get your degree, and then you go into practice. And what I think has happened is it's created two big problems in our industry. The first problem is many people, to be frank, that are chiropractors are broke. They are broke chiropractors. They literally do not and cannot figure out how to make a living. There are many chiropractors who, for honestly, would be better off becoming school teachers. That they would make more money being a teacher and have a stable income, getting their health insurance paid for, than they would be becoming a chiropractor. The second problem is that they never got into healthcare in general to become a business owner. And so they started out with they wanted to help people, but then they had this whole other thing that they had to deal with, like running a business. And so as you start to stack up all of the different things, all of the different processes, all of the different problems that our profession as chiropractors face, it makes sense that the damning evidence is real, that chiropractors have the worst debt to income ratio in our profession. That 2.6 to 1 debt to income ratio is by far and away the worst of the worst of the worst debt to income ratio out of any of the allopathic and medical professions. But it makes sense. And up to this point, as I've said before, the only way that I could learn how to solve this problem was simply by coaching people on how to do it better. Because up to this point, there was really only two options. Number one, when you got into practice, you would become an associate and work in a terrible job that didn't pay well, that had poor leadership. Or number two, you started your own practice, which we just talked about all the reasons why that's a problem. But the thing that I'm going to speak about today, and the reason why we created it, this third option, this Rehab Chiro executive program, is because as I've viewed my job and my world in this industry, what I realized is that there needs to be another option out there. And that's why we're here today. So before I get into specifically the job and the opportunity and the ability to join our team, what I want to talk about is some of the false beliefs, some of the biggest mistakes, some of the biggest problems that I've seen chiropractors face. Now, I've done it over 400 times in, I think, 48 out of the 50 states in the US, in Canada, in Australia, and in Singapore. So I have some context here about our industry and what it's all about. So one of the biggest problems that I face, that we face in our industry, is that people generally think that they can figure all of this out on their own. Now, again, this spans the vast array of if they're like they don't need help from a coach or they start their business on their own. It comes with the premise that they don't need help. I had a client years ago that I was speaking to, and they were a really good high-level college soccer player. And when I asked them about working as an associate or of getting help when they started their own business, he said to me, he's like, no, I'm a control freak. I just want to figure things out on my own. And I remember saying to him at the time, I said, I'm curious, you played soccer in college, yes? He said, yeah. I said, did you have a coach? He said, yeah. I said, did you have a teacher? Yeah. He said, so at what world is being in control and not having someone to help you actually relevant? And he couldn't give me a good answer. So I think the first problem, the first challenge that we all face as chiropractors is somewhere along the line, people believed and started to tell us that we could figure things out on their own. The culture in our profession is that you graduate, you work as an associate, it's terrible, you hate your life, you go open your own practice, you don't make any money, and then you struggle, and then most of the time you don't figure it out. Why do I say that? Because the debt to income ratio is 2.6 to 1, and 50% of our profession doesn't practice, which means that the average outcome of someone going in to be a chiropractor is not good. Now, the problem is most chiropractors also say that I would love to get an associateship and I really want mentorship. But the problem in most associateships is what? Is that you're getting mentorship from the head clinician who owns the practice, but they're in the treatment room 40 hours a week. So how are they going to sit there and mentor and coach you if they're playing the sport? Number two, the problem with this is even when many people have had mentorship or guidance, it isn't good guidance. And what should happen, whether it's in with a sport or in school or when you have kids, is that the problem in this is secondly is that the first 5 years matter a lot more than we all think. And so problem number two is that we believe, and I believe, that the first 5 years of your career, the only thing you should optimize for is guidance and coaching and mentorship. It is not money. Money should come later. What most people say, and chiropractors graduate somewhere between 25 and 30 years old, really the first 5 years until you're 35, you should not be optimizing for money. Money will come when you're 35, when you're 40, when you're 45, when you're 50. Those are your money-making years. And the reason I say that is because the problem that most people have is that the first 5 years are shit. If you can get in the right environment with proximity to the right people, with the right guidance and mentorship, I guarantee you this person who worked a job who got paid less for the first 5 years will make more money over the long term than the person that opened their own practice and floundered for 5 years, who had no guidance, no mentorship, was not in a team environment, didn't develop their standards, didn't become a better human being. I promise you, person A who made less money in the beginning will be 10x person B. Because here's the thing. In life, early habits become permanent habits. Early mentors become permanent influences. And early environments do two things. They're going to shape your floor, your standard of the minimum viable expectation, and they're also going to shape your ceiling. And the problem that our profession has is many times we stumble into both of these. Our floor is so low because we go and open our own practice and we just need to get the bills paid. So we'll accept $30, $40, $50, $80, $100 for a visit. We'll take all insurances. We'll take shit from clients. Our floor is just so low because we don't know any better. And in both scenarios, scenario A, where you get a bad associateship, well, you have a terrible boss and they're shit at their job, you're going to develop those standards. And scenario B, you open your own practice, it's scary and you're desperate and you're overwhelmed. And so you've created a bunch of bad habits you're willing to accept. What do I mean by that? Well, if you open your own practice out of school and you're desperate to make your first $3,000, if someone says, I'm not paying you $4,000 for a plan, I'll pay you $2,000, you say yes. And you think that one day when you start making money, you'll no longer accept it. The problem is it becomes your habit. Because remember, your early environments shape your ceiling. All of this as a preview, I'm telling you this because this is not my problem now because we've had success, but it is my responsibility. And so all of these problems that I am seeing now in our profession, I have decided to take on as my responsibility, which is why we are launching that Rehab Chiro executive program. So you can come and be a member of our team, and you're not just going to be another associate. You're not just going to be a fly on the wall. You're not just going to be thrown in a treatment room and expect to have figured it out. Because those options we've seen in our profession, they have not worked and they will not work. I do not believe that people will rise to their potential. I believe people will rise to the standard that their environment creates. For some of my successful clients, 1 out of 20, they create their own environment of success and they have success. But for most people, myself included, my life and world is shaped by the people that I am with the most frequently and the people that I am continually around and surround myself with. You rise to the standard of your environment. Which leads me to false belief number 3. For many people in our professions, somewhere along the line, we've been trained to think that when you join a team, you're actually giving up on your own dreams. And I cannot tell you how much I disagree with that. Now, in many situations, when you join a business as a chiropractor, you're giving up your soul because the business you're joining is so bad and such shit that you've literally lost your soul and have delayed the inevitable, which is you building your own business. But let me paint a picture for some of you out there. And by the way, what I'm saying to you might be what you just launched yourself, or it might be something that in the future you launch with other people. My vision of the future is that I want to have a vision and a dream so big that I want people with as big a vision to join my team because all of it can fit inside. You see, somewhere, some way, we've thought that doing our own thing with our own name above the door is the only way to be successful, that it is the only way to fulfill on a noble cause. I don't know why that's happened in our profession, but that is simply not the case. It is simply not true. In fact, what I would tell you is that if you can find the right environment and the right group of people and the right coaches and the right support and the right team members, in fact, your dream can be significantly bigger than you ever imagined. Because they always say you can go fast alone, but you can get big with other people. And I believe in that. Now, here's the thing. The reason why I had to start my own practice, Strive to Move, the reason why I had to start Rehab Chiro is because there was nothing else out there. But it doesn't need to be that way. In fact, if someone comes to me and they're like, I got a vision so big you wouldn't even believe it, I would say, come join us, baby. Because I got a vision too, and 2 people with a big vision, man, how far can they go? So the third false belief, the third challenge that most people face is that they believe that when you join a team or an organization that they're giving up or delaying on your dream. And I could not disagree more with that statement. The next piece of this in the right environment is also not true. That many people believe if I work for someone else or with someone else, I'm only betting on them. Well, not with me. Because what I believe is that the right people in the right environment, they are going to take bets on themselves. The people in my business, they're betting on themselves every single day. They're betting on their livelihoods. They're betting on their production. I don't control their outcome. They have agency. Because we are changing our profession. We are changing our family tree. We are building a business and a community and a mindset and raising the standard. We are betting on each other. We are betting on ourselves. Independent of what you choose in your life, whether you hang up a shingle and your name is above the door or you join a team like ours, a world-class team, every single day, you, my friends, are betting on yourself. Which leads me to number 4. I talk to new grads every single day. I talk to associates every day, people in the first 5 years of their practice. And when I ask them, what they need to be successful, their answers are always the same. I need more skills. I need more tactics. I need more marketing plans. I need better copywriting. I need to learn how to run Facebook ads. And the thing that they're talking about, I need a sales script. The thing that they keep saying is that I need more things. I need more stuff. My friends, you don't. What you need in your life, what you need in your career, is you need better feedback. You need higher standards. You need more confidence, which in the beginning you should not have. What you need is a team around you to kick you in the ass when you need it, and someone to pat you on the back as well. You can find all of the information on the internet. It's all there. But the problem in our profession, in chiropractic, is that no one is developing people. And my mission in life and my career is developing people. Someone asked me in our mastermind the other day, like, what about treating patients? Did you not like it anymore? Did you hate treating patients? I told them no. I said, I actually really liked it. I said, but I realized that if I wanted to get to somewhere in my life above where I was now, that I could no longer do that. I had to develop people. I had to become a people development factory. And the good news is that it's already come true. I think that many of us as chiropractors, we think that entrepreneurship is the goal. In other words, when you go to chiropractic school, there's a good thing in that you go in there sort of knowing or thinking that the only way to find success is to open up your own practice. And again, in the history of our profession, that's always been true. But it's not about owning a business. It's not about entrepreneurship. For always and forever, entrepreneurship is just a conduit to the real thing that we all want. And the real thing that we all want is we want the ability to put more money in our pocket. And for many people, entrepreneurship is the way to do that. For many of us, we also want freedom and autonomy and to more time on our calendar. And the problem in our profession, as the data shows, is that with a 2.6 to 1 ratio of debt to income, we know that this entrepreneurship thing has not done a good job at putting more money in people's pocket. And what I also know is that 5 out of 5 chiropractors I speak to are seeing patients from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, 4 days a week just to pay the bills. And so the whole time freedom thing and autonomy thing and freedom thing that chiropractors wished they would have had no longer exists or never existed. So in fact, this entrepreneurship game, the thing that they thought they wanted and the thing that they now have has actually done worse for them, where it's created less free time and less autonomy and less money. The cool thing about what we've created, what we have here, is that, sure, it's challenging. Yes, it's a hard environment. Yes, we have high standards. But I believe, and I know because I've seen it, is that we now have created the ability for people to get even better opportunities than they would have on their own. Because the reality is, people that want freedom, well, for the first 5, 6, 7, for me, 10 years of my practice, I had zero freedom. And when you work in a team and an environment, you can get freedom a lot quicker. Go to your chiro down the street, ask them how much freedom they have. Every time they go away, their practice shuts down. What kind of freedom is that? Go look at the statistics of how many chiropractors barely make a living. Who has the financial freedom? But what if there was an opportunity to get both? What if there was an opportunity to get both? And before I talk more about the Rehab Chiro Executive Program, I'm going to leave you with a question. The question isn't, where should I work? And the question isn't, when should I open my own practice? The question is always, who do I want to become? And then once you answer that question, the next question is, what environment do I need to be in to become that person? And as I've thought through the next iteration, the next level of Justin, of Rehab Chiro, of Strive to Move, the only answer that kept staring back at me was to not just coach people and doctors on how to become the person they want to be, but to actually become their teammate. Which is why we're launching the Rehab Chiro Executive Program in collaboration with Strive to Move. And so for everyone wondering, what is it? First, this is not a coaching program. This is not a course. It's not a free giveaway. It's not a quiz. What we've created is a job opportunity, a career path, an opportunity for you, one chiro out there, to join our team, to join me, to walk with me, not me coach you, to walk with me, to become the person that you always wanted to become, to come in and have a very clear path to go from wherever you are today to become the person and the leader and the business owner that you know you have the potential. You see, the problem is most people never fulfill their potential because they weren't around the right people and the right mentors. The good thing for me now is that we have proof. Specifically, we have 2 people who are my managing partners at my practice, that they are my partners, not my employees. Dr. Ashton Villamoria started as a new grad right out of school, worked his way from an associate all the way to become a managing partner, where he now makes executive decisions. He has control of the bank accounts. He now leads and guides the team. And we have Dr. Kelly Wilcox, who came to us as an intern, who has worked her way into the exact same role. And so now we need to do that again, because my goal, Justin's goal, is to create a leadership factory, is to create a executive program where you have no goal or dream. Challenge me on this. You have no goal or dream that's bigger than what we're creating here. And I mean that in a good way, in that you can come into our world to become a member of our team, to work in our community, to treat patients in our practice, to lead a team, to be able to get on stage, do all of the things that I know that you have potential to do. You just need the right environment. So to be very clear, my company, is looking for one doctor, one chiro, who's going to come to New Jersey, who's going to work in our practice, who's going to learn our marketing, our sales, our leadership systems, who's going to help take our business from where it is today to the next level. Someone who is looking to be mentored. Someone who's looking to fast forward and fast track their path to growth, both as a person and financially. And that person, I promise you, whoever you are out there, your life will be changed forever. The question that I have for everyone here is, what is it costing you not to be in the right environment? What is it costing you to continue to whittle away in the current situation you're in? And so if you are out there and you are about ready to graduate chiropractic school, this opportunity is for you. Imagine a world in which in the first 2 years you come out and to our best objective knowledge, we are giving out the highest level information. We have the highest level leadership program. We have the highest objective measure of success in our profession. Imagine being in that environment for 2 years, when you come out of school. If you're currently an associate and I described your life, that you're getting no mentorship, that you kind of hate what you're doing, you don't like the practice style, you have no path forward, this opportunity is for you. It isn't that being an associate is bad. It's that you're not on a team. You have no growth path. You need that. And if you are in practice right now and you're making under $20,000 per month and you're thinking to yourself, man, I should be doing better. I got all the potential. I just don't know what to do. This opportunity is for you. And to be clear, if you come into our world and are hired onto our team, I'm not asking you to sign in blood for your life. All I'm asking is that you give us your absolute best for 2 years, 24 months. And after that, whatever you want to do, I'm good with. You want to stay around? We'll have an opportunity for you. You want to go and do your own thing? I love it. Do your own thing. You want to expand the brand of Strive to Move statewide or nationwide? We'll help you do that. I'm not asking anyone to commit forever. I'm asking someone to come in for 2 years and give us your absolute best. And the reason why I say that is because things change. What I'm looking for is for me to get personally hit my goals, my revenue goals, to hit the business numbers that I want. I know that now I need people who want to become leaders. I need people that want to drive a business forward. I need people that are trucks that can help build and to grow. I don't need trailers who need to be strung along. And so before I wrap up, if that's you, if you are a student about to graduate, if you are an associate who's toiling away and hates your life, if you are a business owner making under $20,000 per month, and you just know if I get the right support, the right environment, and you want to bet on yourself, this opportunity, if Rehab Chiro and Strive to Move, is for you. So if you're interested and you want more information, all I need you to do is go into my bio if you're on Instagram, go into the show notes if this is the podcast, click the link. There's a form there. Once you fill the form out, that information will come directly to me. You're going to hear from me specifically, and we can talk more about the opportunity. So for all of you, for anyone listening out there, give yourself a chance. Sometimes you need someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. I'll talk to y'all soon.